Fucking Mindy.
All right. Dancing.
Yeah. Might need to drug test JR this morning.
Welcome to the 4-Point Plan. I'm
Yeah.
JR. I am your host. I am a drug counselor in Los Angeles, California. And boy, am I excited to be here at the 4-Point Plan. Today is Sunday, February 7th. And this is probably episode 32. We've been doing this thing for so long. Oh my God, we've been doing it for so long. But we're here again, and we're here to talk about the 4-Point Plan, the 4-Point Plan that can save your life, the 4-Point Plan, which is the guide to getting sober and staying sober and changing everything for you. And we're excited to tell you how we did it. So, first, I want to introduce you to my friends who help me do the 4-Point Plan podcast every week. They're the real stars of the show. Here's my friend Sean. Say hello, Sean.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on the show. I'd like to thank 4 Point Productions.
Thanks for having me on the show. Thanks, town. Speaking of town, here's the happiest guy in our town of Los Angeles, California. He is super excited this morning because it is Super Bowl Sunday. Say hello, everybody, Guy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 4-Point Plan. Happy Super Sunday.
Yeah, it's the Super Bowl edition of the 4-Point Plan, and we're excited because we know you're all a bunch of troopers out there. You're all excited to see the game. And how the hell are you going to stay sober on Super Bowl Sunday? It's going to be so hard because they're going to have really good Budweiser commercials. And some of y'all really like the Budweiser, and they're going to have there's people out there that are delivering marijuana door to door. Bar. You can now in Los Angeles, you can just call the weed dealers and they just deliver it to you. And I mean, when I was out there using, I could call the heroin dealers and they deliver it to you. It was harder though on Super Bowl Sunday because my heroin dealers enjoy a good Super Bowl as well. So I mean, it's not as bad as the World Cup. During the World Cup, you couldn't get no heroin. You know what I'm saying?
World Cup.
But we are excited to tell you about the 4-Point Plan because the 4-Point Plan will help you stop using and stop drinking and stay sober. And the 4-Point Plan is simply this: you attend 90 meetings in 90 days. What kind of meetings? I don't know. AA meetings, NA meetings, CA meetings, CMA meetings, HA meetings, MA meetings, Overeaters
Slaw.
Anonymous meetings, Debtors Anonymous meetings. Just don't go to fucking Slaw. Do not go to Sex and Love Anonymous meetings, all right? Jesus Christ. How you going to stop doing heroin if you're going to go to someplace and hook up with three strange dudes where y'all get in a puppy pile and play fucking pivot man and a circle jerk? I'm saying don't do slaw, but do AA, NA, CA. Get in where you fit in, brother. Unless you're fitting in between three hairy bears, three men that are climbing on top of you, don't fucking do that, all right? Because that might do some things to your self-esteem and you may go back to drinking and using. So instead, go to a good AA meeting. Go to a good NA meeting tonight, all right? Find one today before the Super Bowl, after the Super Bowl, whatever day you hear our podcast, go out and go to a meeting today. But do that for 90 days, 3 months in a row, every single day. Why would I do 90 meetings in 90 days? I don't know, motherfucker. Maybe you stay sober. There's a good idea. Now, next up, I want you to get a sponsor. Go out there and get a sponsor. Why not get a sponsor? Everybody's telling you to get a sponsor. Everybody you know that has long-term sobriety has a sponsor. So why are you too fucking cool to get a sponsor? Probably because you have disease in your brain that wants you to go back to fucking snorting crack, smoking crack, snorting coke, doing all the shit you used to do. You have a disease in your brain that's going to trick you. You can't trust it. You can trust us. You can trust the people at the 4-Point Plan who say, get a fucking sponsor. Call that sponsor every day. Let him walk you through the steps. Learn how to stay sober. Listen, if you trust yourself and your willpower and all that shit, if that was any good, then you wouldn't be listening to our podcast trying to figure out how to get sober. We're trying to teach you. One, go to 90 meetings in 90 days. Two, get a fucking sponsor. Now, number three, I want you to go out and find a home group. This is a meeting that you never miss. You're always going to be at your home group. Is that going to be every Monday at noon or every Friday at 6 o'clock? I don't know. That's up for you to decide. But once you find that home group, don't make it a secret, man. Go and tell somebody, say, hey, my name's JR. I'm an addict and this is my home group and I'm always going to be here. Right. That way, if I need to find you, I know where to find you. If I know where your home group is, because I know, oh man, I need to find Guy. Well, fuck, how am I going to find? Oh, I know. I'll go to his home group on Friday nights. He's going to be there. He's always there. So find a home group, make those people like a family. All right. And then finally, the last thing is to don't be a bystander at your own recovery. Don't loiter around the recovery rooms. We want you to give back and we want you to be of service. So number 4 on the 4-point plan is to get a commitment, get a service commitment. Find a way to be of service to the program that saved your life. Does that mean being the secretary, being the treasurer, being the coffee maker, being the person that sets up the chairs? Right now, during coronavirus, I know a guy that's got a commitment where he wipes off a microphone that people share through after each person shares because they don't want to pass coronavirus back and forth. It's a goofy fucking commitment, but it is a commitment and it counts, man. I don't care what commitment you gotta get. I know one dude, he's got 3 greeter commitments online, 3 greeter commitments for Zoom meetings. And he hates it. He's like, oh man, it's the shittiest commitment. I'm like, dude, that's so cool though. Because like every time another person pops up on the screen on the Zoom, you have to say their name and they have to say hi back to you. So it's, I like it.
I do that every Saturday at Quality Life. I'm the greeter, virtual greeter.
You're the virtual greeter.
I have to be there half hour early, make sure every person logs on. I say hello, welcome.
See, it's great because I go to that meeting on occasion and Sean's always there saying, hey, hello, JR. I'm like, oh, it's my buddy Sean from the 4-Point Plan podcast. Hi, Sean. And then I stop and say, oh, wait a minute. I'm not special. He says that shit to everybody.
I don't even have that commitment and I do it anyways.
Right.
You say hi to people?
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, Frank? Yeah. Good to see you, man. It's not even my commitment. I just like doing that because I like the people in the meetings.
Yeah, but did you like doing that at first? Because at first I didn't like doing that. But now I do. The first time I ever got a greeting commitment, I didn't like doing it. I didn't like talking to people. But that's why they gave it to me. Because now I like it.
That's true. It is a good way to get to know people. It's one of the best commitments to get to know people, I think.
Also, when you're new, man, you're kind of like Sean. You know, Sean's the newest one out of us, and Sean has changed, you know, over the last year and so.
Heck yeah.
He's more outgoing and he's more amiable to people. He's kinder to people. He's more, you know, rambunctious than he used to be. But when we all came in, we were kind of restrained. We kind of held back, right? We were all a little shy. We were all a little nervous, making new friends, talking to people. You might think, oh, these people aren't going to like me. Or more likely, you're thinking these people are all assholes and I'm not going to like them, you know. But what we learn how to do, man, is to open up and come out of our shell. And I think that greeter commitment is the perfect coming out of your shell tool, man. So if you're going to meetings and you don't know anybody, man, volunteer to be the greeter and fucking say hello to everybody every week. I love it. Now, I hear a lot of people complain about Zoom meetings. Why I can't get sober on Zoom meetings. I can't stay sober on Zoom meetings. Fuck all that. That's just your disease talking, man. You could really have a blast on Zoom meetings. I have made friends on Zoom meetings that are incredibly important to me now. Like the guys at the Friday night meeting, Jim and Steve and John and Carla, the fucking people that go to that meeting, man, they're now my friends. And like when I was going to that meeting in person, I never talked to any of them. So it's fucking cool, man. It's almost more intimate. The Zoom thing is almost more intimate because you could see everybody's faces the entire time. You can look them right in the eye. You can discuss things directly to them. And I've been able to use Zoom to build some solid friendships and relationships, and I dig it, man. I really dig it.
You made it happen.
Yeah. Well, why? How did I do that? By showing up
every day.
If you show up, man, and also you keep your camera on, because there's some dildos out there that go on Zoom meetings and then they turn their camera off and they keep their microphone muted, and it's like, how do we know you're really at the meeting? All I see is your name. I don't fucking know that you're here. You could be over there with your computer off, and you could be jerking off, or you could be sleeping. You could be killing your grandma. I don't know what you're doing with the fucking camera off. The one dude, he turned his camera on and killed his grandma, but I haven't seen him in a while. They must have caught him.
Yep.
I remember I was texting Guy. I was like, Guy, is that a serial killer? Is that motherfucker a serial killer in the meeting?
So there's blood everywhere.
Oh, it was some kind of accident or something.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yeah, he accidentally had a crazy looking prostitute in his hotel room. And then next thing, he accidentally had a big spot of blood on the floor. Come on, dude.
I don't know.
Is that your sponsor, you guy?
No.
No. He was at the meeting a couple weeks later because I was there, and you're like, "Oh, that's the guy."
That's the serial killer. I was like, oh my God, guys, it's him, it's the serial killer's back.
It looks like he cleaned up. Looks like he cleaned up a little bit.
So people are probably listening to the podcast saying, why are you telling me to go to meetings where there's serial killers? Well, if you're on Zoom, you're safer. They don't know your address if you're on Zoom. They can't touch you on Zoom. They can just see you. But listen, I love the program. The program has changed my life. It has saved my life. And without the program, I'll be using. Now, over this past week, I have discovered that two of my long-term sobriety friends, both of them, one had 7 years and one had over 10 years. Both of them relapsed. And I'm just like, I'm just in awe of this. Like, how the fuck are you going to relapse during coronavirus? Like, how is that going to improve your life in any way, shape, or form? Why the fuck would you want to fucking take the chances to start getting high now, man? I don't get it.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people talk because people don't have that in-person connection, you know? Like I hear lots of people saying, "Oh, I hate Zoom meetings. I hate Zoom meetings." You know, there's no connection. But like Joe said, I think there's a lot of connection. I can see you. I can see inside your house. I kind of know what you're into. I don't know. I think it's more personal connection. Not like
that
not
might be the
personal.
disease talking too. Like JR said, there's no, so they don't go to in-person meetings, but then they don't give themselves a chance to go to a Zoom meeting either. And then they end up going to 0 meetings. And what might happen at that point? You might get loaded.
Otherwise, I might never know that JR likes Black Flag or Guy likes Hellboy. Never would even know that.
Oh, you would know that.
I know, because you have a tattoo on the back of your neck.
Oh, you would know that.
I wouldn't know the guy liked the Rams if it wasn't for these Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
So my friends are out there, man. They're using, and one of them, man, was a good friend. I watched him get sober and conquer all the odds of staying off heroin. And it's a guy that had recovered from like severe physical injuries. He had broken both of his legs at one point, and then he got better. And then he was on heroin, and we got him sober. He stayed sober and got 7 years, man. And then, you know, I called him for some other random shit this week, and I could hear it in his voice. You know, as soon as he started talking, I was like, oh fuck. That thing that we hoped would never happen has happened, right? And he said that what was going on was he was having trouble sleeping. The doctors could not prescribe anything non-narcotic that would help him sleep. And he tried everything. And then finally they gave him some fucking narcotics. And before he knew it, he was smoking heroin again. And so, I mean, it's not like 7 years ago, bro. You go out and start smoking heroin now, someone's going to slide some fentanyl into there, and you're going to end up dead. You know, I saw that guy in his car that had smoked some fentanyl, and we had to drag him out and bring him back to life. So, you know, now my friend is probably facing, you know, I think that the odds of being a heroin addict nowadays that doesn't die are not very good. I think if you do heroin now, you're most likely going to die. Like we always knew that. When we did heroin, we knew, oh, there's a pretty good chance this will kill me. But I mean, that's fucking 12 years ago. Now, man, you do heroin now and you must just have a fucking death wish. You must want to fucking die to do it now. And I think maybe that's what's up with my boy, man, is whatever condition that he has that is costing him sleep, that won't allow him to sleep, has made him just fucking want to die. And so horrible. and he lives in another state, and I don't know how to help him. I don't know that I would, tell him to go to rehab or anything, and I don't think he has the resources to go to rehab. But I don't know what to do to help him, and that sucks because I'm the world's greatest drug counselor. I'm the founder of the 4-Point Plan. I should know how to fucking save my friends. And it's the hardest thing, man, is when people, when someone I love is using and needs help getting sober, I feel incapable of helping them. I can help you. I can help our listeners. I can help, a million random people that I've never met before. But if I love somebody, saving them becomes so hard, nearly impossible. I can't explain why. What do you think?
I'm trying to process it.
Well, it's hard. Sometimes it's harder to because we care so much. It's hard to like force anybody to do anything. But that's where sometimes in my situation, I'll want to be like grab them and like shake them, like, come on, just get your ass in the meeting or follow me like all day long. But it is hard. We get a little bit attached to them, and I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense because I have a family member who's an alcoholic. I try to get him to go to meetings. He's been to a couple meetings with me, but he just doesn't want it, and like I believe he needs it to save his life, that I believe he's gonna drink himself to death. But like I have to like distance myself because I love him that much, I don't know. So I guess it kind of makes sense. But anybody else, you can be straight up with them, like, dude, you're gonna die, like just get to a fucking meeting.
Well, Guy's childhood friend has been trying to get sober for a minute, and Guy takes him to meetings, and he'll get 10, 15, 20 days, and then he'll go back out. And like, how's that feel, Guy? Like to try so hard and to feel that powerlessness. What's that like with your boy?
I just got to live in acceptance of it, and I can't force it. I can't force it upon anybody. Bottom line, we never can. But it just makes it harder when it's someone we really care about, because we have a special spot in our hearts for them, and we would hope that if anybody would get it, it would be those people that are so dear to us, that we've known for so long, and we've built like that bond, or family members, even worse. Those are the people we grew up with. But it is tough, but that's when we got to really set some boundaries, and just for our own sakes as well, or at least in my sake. It's something I talked to my sponsor about, that we can show them the way, show them how we did it, introduce them to other people as well. But I can't put the pressure on just me being the one that's going to make this happen. I can't do that. It's not really possible, and it's not good for myself. So,
well, Guy, what about didn't your first sponsor, did he relapse? He did. So there you go. There's a good example. Like, you love that dude. That dude saved your life.
He sure did.
And then like he relapses and you want to help him. What the fuck can you do?
Right. Yeah, that was a tough one as well for me. I didn't understand it. And, we get it. We build attachments to people, but by working with my new sponsor, I had to come to terms that none of us are immune to this. And at the end of the day, we are all addicted people. We're all addicts and alcoholics.
Yeah, because I couldn't imagine if my
and we're all human. We are all human. Nobody is just because of somebody help. We put them up on a pedestal, or they got us in. They helped us out, or they are doing all the right things. We got to remember at the end of the day that they are a human being and they are an alcoholic. And there we go. It strengthened, it reminded me that, okay, this is something I need to keep working on in my life, or that can happen to any of us. It was a huge learning lesson for me.
Sean, what would you do if your sponsor went out?
I would feel helpless because he's taught me so much and he knows what to do, and what can you tell him differently that he doesn't already know. I mean, obviously something didn't happen. Like sometimes these patients come in where I work at and they're like, oh yeah, I've had sobriety before, you know, I was 20 years clean, 15 years clean. Like, what happened? Like, you know, I don't ask them like to try to talk down to them or you know, pity them, but I want to know like what happened to make them to relapse so I can learn from their mistakes. You know, could it be a spiritual malady or could it be just lack of meetings, falling off from here or there, like not calling a sponsor. Like I want to know these things.
What did they say when you ask them what happened? What did they say?
The first thing is stop going to meetings. That's always usually number one. Stop going to meetings. Then I started just drifting away. Stop calling my sponsor. Next thing you know, 20 years gone, 15 years gone. So
we talk about this, right? Every relapse story starts with I stopped going to meetings and I stopped calling my sponsor. And then, you know, I hear so many of these relapse stories that I've gotten pretty jaded, right? I've gotten pretty sarcastic or sardonic. And so they'll say, oh, well, I stopped going to meetings. I stopped calling my sponsor. Yeah. Then I started doing heroin. And I'm like, lucky. I don't get to do heroin. Must have been cool, huh? Was it awesome? I always ask them, was it awesome? And they're like, no, it's terrible. I'm like, really? Oh, I can't believe it. I thought it'd be awesome, you know, just because I had to get sober once before because it was fucking awful. I thought I'd try again and maybe it'd be awesome this time.
Yeah, most of them don't want to do it different. You know what I mean? Most of them are just like, oh, you know, what are you gonna do different this time? And none of them want to do the work. I mean, it's a way of life, and like for me, if I wasn't in AA, I don't know where I'd be. I'd like to say I'd still be sober, but like inside, like emotionally, I don't think I would be as stable as I am today. And
here's what happens where we work.
I would not be.
Here's what happens where we work. They walk in the door and they're homeless and they're like, I'll do anything to get sober. And we're like, all right, cool. Here's a free place to live for 3 months. And what you want to do then is go to a meeting every day. And they'll be like, I'm not willing to do that. Well, that's because we gave you a fucking place to live. Let's take the fucking place to live back away from them and see what they're willing to fucking do. See if they're willing to go to meetings every day now. Fucking idiots. Did you see the fucking the tiny home fucking village that they just built in the valley yesterday?
The tiny home village.
Yeah, it's not. Oh, no. Motherfucker!
I stay away from there.
No. Well, yeah. In 6 months from now, it's gonna be fucking crazy. But it's like they took and they built these little sheds, right, with the little cots and the air conditioner and a heater inside.
Really?
And there's like 100 or 200 of them. And then they have like a trailer at the end with showers. So like there's a public shower where you go and take a shower. And there's a little courtyard in the middle. And some little rich white dude is standing there talking to the news reporter. And he's like, well, you know, most people just take like 3 or 4 months to get back on their feet. I'm like, this fucking retard. He doesn't have no idea what he's talking about. Listen to this fucking idiot. This fucking little rich white guy thinks he knows what's going to fucking cure homelessness. All you did was created a camp where people are going to smoke crack and chew heroin. That's all you fucking did. If you walk through that little place that you're so proud of on the news right now, if you walk through there in 6 months, someone's going to fucking stab you.
Sounds like a FEMA camp.
Yeah, it looks like a FEMA camp, but that's the point, man. People are desperate when they're dying, but once you give them a little bit of fucking security, they're not going to do the things that they need to do out of desperation. That's why I say that the gift of desperation is what got me sober. Like the fact that they told me they were going to cut my arms off, I was finally in enough pain and I was sick enough and I was afraid enough that I was going to lose my arms that I finally got sober. And also every day that I would sit there in the meeting and not use when I wanted to, I would say, if I use, I'll die. If I use, I'll die. I don't want to die. I want to live. So I'll fucking stay clean one more day because I don't want to fucking die. And it was the desperation, man, that got me sober, right? But I find so many cocksuckers that come in and say, I want to get sober, who have no fucking desperation. No desperation. You need desperation to get this. I fucking believe this. Fucking, I know both of you dudes, both of you guys were fucking desperate. Both of you wanted something different than what you had. But for some reason, man, my friends who relapsed, the people that we work with, they come in, their desperation is fucking fleeting, man. It doesn't stick, and they don't care enough to stay fucking sober. And I don't know how to fucking help them, man. I can't force someone to be fucking desperate. I can't force someone to want to live and not die. So I don't know, man. I give them this fucking this roadmap, this 4-point plan, this perfect way to fucking get sober and stay sober, and no one wants to fucking do it, man. And a lot of times it feels like I'm just banging my head against a fucking brick wall. Like, what's the point of me trying to save you motherfuckers when all you keep doing is relapsing and dying? And why do I even care anymore? Compassion fatigue.
Yep.
But we still gotta do the podcast. we gotta let them know, because there might be some people that really want it.
There might be some people
Are desperate enough, I should say.
Besides us.
Yeah, of course.
I think there's a term for, isn't that the cycle of spring remorse? Where they get desperate enough to come in, they want to stay sober, and they get, maybe a guy can explain a little better because I have it on my wall at work, but.
Yes, that's what we do. We get that to that period, well, at least to the period of remorse right there. And then we want to do something. We're like, God, I can't do this anymore. I need to stop. And then we stop for a period of time. And eventually, without some kind of a solution,
Get irritable.
without some kind of a program, without some kind of a design for living, we have that thing that JR talks about in the back of our heads that will lead us to what we know how to do, which is get loaded to deal with this unmanageable life. And that's exactly what happens. And then round and around we'll go, doing it over and over. Some people can stop for that period of time for different circumstances, different reasons. But without a sufficient solution, I know that, at least for me, I will go back to it. I will. That's one of the reasons why I stay. That's why I stay going, continue to go to these meetings. Doing a 90-90 was important in those beginnings to build those connections and everything. But sometimes I'll find myself doing a 90-90 now. Just because I know it works for me. It keeps me satisfied being sober. It gives me satisfaction of being sober in this world. So it's something that has worked for me.
That's because you're successful. Sean's successful. I'm successful at recovery. We are doing this and we're doing it good. And given a choice, we would all choose to go to a meeting every single day of our life because we know the consequences of going to meetings every day is a better life. We've experienced it. We did it for 90 days, our lives got better. So we did it for 180 days and our lives got better. And we did it for 365 days and our lives got fucking better. And I would fucking do it every day for the rest of my life. And as soon as I'm finished with school, I will be going to meetings every day. I go to fucking 3 or 4 meetings a week now, but I'd rather go to 7 or 10 meetings a week because I know when I go to a meeting every day, my life continues getting fucking better, man. It's fucking miraculous. And the fact that people fight with me on this and don't even consider going to a meeting every day, it just makes me wonder, man, what kind of a fucking bottom do you have to hit? You already fucking got 5 DUIs, man. They already took your fucking kids. You're already serving a suspended fucking sentence. It's going to put you back in prison if you fuck up. But you can't go to a meeting every day. Fucking why? Right? Like, Jesus, what's it going to take to make some of you motherfuckers desperate, man?
Sounded like my story. 5 DUIs.
Oh, yeah?
But that's what it took me though. I mean, I was at a point where I was living out of my car, and I lost everything. I lost, my condo. The kids were not with me anymore, and I just went to a super, super dark place, and I was so desperate. I just didn't know how to get out of it. So the LA County Sheriff's helped me get out of it, and then the treatment center I went to helped me get out of it. In the 4-point plan.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for mentioning
quality of life.
See, that's the thing. I think all of us who have this addiction and go through that suffering, we all have that desperation. Every one of us, probably anybody who's listened to this, everybody who's been to at least one meeting in their life, they have desperation. But are they desperate enough to take some actions to improve it? And that's where the problem lies.
And my sponsor said you have to be willing. I try to stay desperate for the first year of my recovery. I rode the bus everywhere. It took me so long to get to work. It took me so long to get to and from the meetings because I didn't have a license, and I had to stay in that desperate mode because I knew when I was going to get these things back a little bit at a time, that I wanted to keep it. So I stayed in desperate mode for at least for the first year. But
good.
Yeah, I love your sponsor, man. Your sponsor's a meeting maker, man. He gets it. He understands. You go to meetings every day, man. It's what we do. Why not? Fucking what's the alternative? Relapsing after 7 years, go back to smoking heroin. After 10 years, go back to tossing the bubble and smoking fucking crystal meth out of a fucking light bulb? Really? Like, what happened when you got 10 years sober? Oh, wait, you went back to college. You got a new car. I remember that when you were fucking brand new, someone had to give you a fucking car so you could get to meetings. Now you fucking stayed sober, man. What happened? You fucking got a new car. You went to college. You got a college degree. You met a girl at your college. You fell in love. You got married. You had a fucking beautiful kid. Everything's fucking beautiful. And then at 10 years clean, you're like, I don't like this pandemic. I don't believe in the mask. I don't go to meetings on Zoom. What do you do now, motherfucker? You smoke crystal meth out of a fucking bubble. That's what you do. You fucking are back to where you started. You fucking idiot, man. I love these people, man, but I don't know how to fucking help them. And watching them make these stupid decisions is heartbreaking. I don't get it, man. I don't know what we're supposed to do for these people.
They know what to do. I mean, at 10 years sobriety, they should know what to do. I don't know if you're able to help them more. They can only help themselves at this point. Lead by example.
Be the example.
Be the example and don't smoke crystal meth out of a light bulb.
Or out of anything.
Or anything. Put the wind chimes down.
Right now, he's probably taking something apart. You know what I'm saying?
And it wasn't even broken.
Yeah, it wasn't even broken. Right?
Yeah, his life.
Yeah, taking his life apart, taking his car apart, taking his fucking portable CD player apart.
Well, hopefully he makes it back.
Taking the fucking lighting fixture apart because you hear something in there.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
And man, if someone relapses and starts smoking meth, there's no way they're going to go get vaccinated because they're going to be afraid of the little fucking neutrons, the little fucking micro machines going into their bloodstream.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit. Guys looking at his fucking light bulb.
I heard something up there.
Something in there. You can fix it.
Something in there?
Fucking tweakers, man. Fucking tweakers. Listen, the program, the 4-point plan program will save your life and give you a life beyond your wildest dreams. And we've watched it work and happen for people who do it. It's not for people who want it. People say, oh, well, you have to want to get sober. Dude, I wanted to get sober for years and years and years. I couldn't fucking do it, man. I kept using, even though I wanted to stop, I kept using. And then they're like, oh, well, it's for people who need it. I fucking needed it. I hadn't talked to my kid in years, man. I fucking needed to get sober.
Your arms were falling off.
Yeah, they were going to chop my fucking arms off, and I kept sticking needles in them. I couldn't stop, man. So even though I needed to stop, I couldn't stop. It's not a program for those who want it. It's not a program for those who need it. It's only a program for those who do it. And this is why I try to force people to go to fucking meetings, man. 90 and 90. You got to do it. You can't fucking talk about it, and you can't refuse to do it like it's a fucking funny fucking joke. The people that fucking don't do it don't make it. The people that do it make it. The people that do it are fucking Guy and Sean and JR. Their fucking lives are awesome. The people that don't do it are the ones that fucking relapse and continue to relapse and fucking continue to have terrible lives. And because we are not assholes and we love people, we want to fucking help you. We want to help you stay sober. So we're here to remind you, man, 90 and 90, get a sponsor, get a home group, get a commitment. Oh, and let's go back to the details when we were talking about a sponsor going out or a friend or someone you loved who couldn't stop using. If I relapse, you motherfuckers better beat the shit out of me. All right? If Guy relapses, me and Sean are coming to his house. We're putting him in the trunk of the car. We're bringing him to my house. We're going in the garage. We're going to chain his ankle to the fucking radiator, just like that movie Saw. He's going to wake up with his fucking leg chained to the wall. He's going to be like, what the fuck happened? He'll be like, we want to play a game. It's called, you don't get to leave until you fucking sober up, motherfucker.
Put a computer in front of him and put a loop on of a meeting of the 4-point plan.
Put the Zoom meetings on. Imagine you're in a Zoom meeting and Guy is there and he's like, JR and Sean kidnapped me. JR's garage. They won't let me go till I get sober.
If it was only that easy.
No, because you would be on mute for sure so nobody could hear you.
Well, I appreciate that. You guys would do something like that. I give you permission to chain me up.
We've got this on recording now. So when we kidnap Guy, we have his permission on tape.
Yep. If the sheriffs are watching this, he gave us permission.
Uh-oh.
Hey, same, man. Same. If I fucking relapse, I want you guys to fucking whip my ass. I want you to fucking get me sober because obviously I'm a fucking savage animal when I'm using, man. I once fucking drove a fucking camper through an underpass that ripped the roof off the camper, and I didn't even stop. I kept going because there was drugs at the end of that road.
Couldn't get there fast enough, huh? I didn't need that.
My girlfriend was like, honey, you ripped the roof off the camper. I'm like, sorry, honey, we're living in a roofless camper from now on.
True story?
True story.
See it every day.
I mean it though. Someone told me this once and I always identified with it. When I use, I am no longer human. I am a savage animal. Like when I finally got sober 12 years ago, when I finally came in and got sober, I was not fit for human consumption, man. I was dirty and I was smelly and I was skinny and pale and I had blood dripping down my arms and I did not look like a normal human being. I was kind of person, man, that people would get up and move and not sit next to me on the bus. Have you seen the people on the bus? They wouldn't want to sit next to me. I was the person on the bus that the bus people didn't want to be around. Oh, I was a savage animal, man, but fucking my life, it's transformed. And now I'm a fucking college student, you know, soon to be a therapist. I guess actually I am a therapist now. I have a different life, man. I'm a different human being. I'm a different person. It's weird. I think back, I reflect back, man, to my life in my 20s and my 30s when I kept using and look at the life I've had since I got sober. And it's weird, man, to think that I was such an idiot, to think I was so dirty and so scary and so depressed all the time And now, since I've been sober, I've just been happy and ambitious and successful. You know how many world championships I won when I was on heroin? None. None. Now I'm the 9-time heavyweight champion of the world. 9-time heavyweight champion of the world.
I need to get a statue of that, huh?
Yeah, well, if they ever make a statue of me, I'm gonna
erect it.
The belt. I was really sick this week. I got super sick because I took the second vaccination shot, and I called my mom and I called my daughter and I said, "Listen, if I don't make it, I need you to dedicate the rest of your life to getting Health Kid put on a postage stamp."
Postage stamp. God.
Forever stamp. Or a penny. You want a penny stamp?
Just put me on a stamp. Make sure they use the young Hell Kid. If they put me on a stamp, use the young Hell Kid. It's good being sober, man. It's a different life. And I started to allude to this earlier. When I started out working in this field, man, working with addicts, and I would get frustrated about trying to teach people how to get sober. I remember going to my friend Mescal, and my friend Mescal said, it's amazing that, I said, we can't teach them this stuff. And he said, it's amazing because it's so easy. It's so easy. The 4-point plan is so easy. What's required to do it requires so little energy or commitment. All it is just an hour a day. There's 24 hours in a day. Just 1 hour of those hours could save your life. Then why not fucking do it? If it could save your life, why not do it? If you really want to live, just give us an hour a day, man. Just give us an hour a day. Go to the fucking meeting, call your sponsor, go to a meeting with your sponsor, get a home group, make sure you're there every week. Get a couple commitments. You're going to be in a meeting every day anyways. You might as well do something while you're there. You just want to go to a meeting and just go sit down and not talk to anybody, or just go talk to people and not do anything to help out? No, man, you want to fucking help out, man. You want to get a service commitment and chip in and be a part of this community of recovering addicts and alcoholics who need a better life and are finding a better life. You could be a part of it, man. I know that this episode's been weird for Super Bowl Sunday because a lot of sadness about friends getting loaded and a lot of talk about desperation, maybe even a little anger, man. But compassion fatigue, man. We're not selfish fucking assholes anymore. We're very empathetic people. We really do care about addicts, and we just I get a little frustrated, man. I get a little frustrated. I want to help people. I want to help people stay alive. And, the truth is 2 of my best friends, I found out this week that 2 of my best friends relapsed, and I'm sad for them, and I'm frustrated because I don't know how to help them. And I guess that's just something that you experience in recovery, man, is people going out of your life and going back to drugs and alcohol, and you go through that grieving process, and it sucks, man. But the good news, Guy's going to stay sober. Sean's going to stay sober. I still got those friends, man, and I'm going to stay sober because I like the life that I got. I got the life that came with sobriety. It's fucking cool.
Yeah, I know. I don't have to regret the Super Bowl. You just brought up some memories for me, man. I've had some bad memories on these Super Bowls. Some real bad times. Hospital a couple times on after a Super Bowl. Getting thrown off a bus in the middle of the desert on Highway 40. Man, that was horrible. I've had some gnarly experiences on this day. And these past Super Bowls have been great because I don't have to regret them, except for when my Rams lost a couple of years ago. But hey, at least I was there. I was present. I remembered it. I didn't do anything too bad.
I remember the Rams won the Super Bowl one year, and my girlfriend brought me some heroin at the rehab I was at, and I fucking shot up in the fucking shower, and I was laying on the floor of the shower where a bunch of weird dudes jerked off all over, so it was pretty disgusting. And then I got out of the shower, and I went and sat down in front of the Super Bowl, and the Rams and the Patriots walked out onto the field, and I passed out. And when I woke up, the whole room full of people was screaming, saying, "Oh my God, that was the greatest Super Bowl of all time! Holy shit!" And there were so many touchdowns, and then dude kicked a field goal with no time left. No.
And you missed it.
That was the year I got kicked off the bus in the middle of the desert.
Where were you going?
Man, that was horrible, dude.
Yeah, I was in detox, brother. It sucked.
Oh,
I missed the whole game.
man.
Waking up with black eyes, woken up in jail, got kicked out of every bar.
Yeah. Horrible. Super Bowls were bad. There was bad stuff would happen to me.
They always start off good.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Same with St. Patrick's Day. That's always been a pretty bloody holiday for me. Not anymore, man. I'm gonna sit home today with the kids. We're gonna watch it.
Nice.
All right. Well, hey, before we go, man, do we got any Super Bowl picks, any predictions? What do you guys think we're looking forward to today?
I went with the Chiefs because that's who was favored.
Wait, you bet against Tom Brady?
Yes.
Oh wow, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Good job, Sean. I'm sure you'll do well.
I will.
I'm just happy that I'm going to be present, sober, and enjoy a full day.
We might have to do a 12-step call on Sean later, guy. We might have to go over and get Sean and keep him away from the bottle.
Right.
He loses all of his money betting against Tom Brady. He'll be all like sad and like, "Oh, I'm just going to relapse." And we'll be like, "No, Sean, you can't."
No, it's not that serious. It was just a little friendly. It was a friendly wager.
We'll chain him up to the radiator, like you
said.
said.
It in my garage. We'll take him in my garage.
Make sure I give you my address before the game starts.
Oh well, I'm looking
I'm
forward
excited.
to.
It's gonna be a beautiful day of sobriety, watching a beautiful sport.
I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm not talking about Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm talking about the halftime show. It's going to be the weekend at the Super Bowl, and he's going to be jamming. And that little fucking pop music dude is
he's pretty good, man.
I like him. I'm going to enjoy that. I'm going to enjoy seeing Tom Brady do the Tom Brady. And nothing to see here, just Tom Brady being Tom Brady, right? Like that'll be pretty good. Yeah, everything's gonna be awesome today, man. You guys stay sober today, all right? If you think that you're gonna use because Tom Brady's kicking your ass, you call me, right? If you need or you use, man, you call me. Like I like to party, right? So if you think that you're gonna use, and let me put this out there to all of our listeners, because I know we got a lot of listeners out there, and I want them to know that the JR cares, man. The JR loves you. If you guys think that you're gonna use or you want to use or drink today, call me first, and if you have a good enough reason, I'll go ahead and buy it, man. I'm there for you. The problem is I've seen a lot of people over the last 12 years that have stayed sober in the most dire of circumstances, and I'm under the impression that there's never a good enough reason to use. But you go ahead and call me anyways. Call me first, and if there's a good enough reason to use, bro, it's on me. All right, so that's a pretty good offer. It's a pretty good deal. All right, I'm willing to talk to you about it. And if nothing else, man, maybe stay sober, right? So I want to thank Guy and Sean, as always, for the 4 Point Plan podcast. I want to know what the hell that was right there.
What was that sad-ass music?
Yeah, there we go. Here's our jam. The 4 Point Plan. We're going to cruise on out of here. We're going to watch the Super Bowl. We're going to stay sober. We're going to try to cheer up. We're going to tell you people do not relapse. You never have to use again. 4 Point Plan. Do the 4 Point Plan on the 4 Point Plan on the 4 Point Plan. Yeah.
not gonna dance like an idiot. I'm sorry.
Come on, Sean.
I can't do it. I'm not there. I'm not sober enough yet.
Not sober enough yet.